See and hear me okay? This is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 132 people in 12 different countries, and it's going to be fabulous. This whole month we've been doing the theme of sort of like a 4-part theme, I guess: time management, focus, productivity, and self-discipline. And as usual, you can't predict everything based on the theme. So it's good to, if you are going to pick and choose and not just do all of them, then use your intuition, because this month we've been doing an amazing type of healing, brain healing, since the third healing this month, the final healing of the triplet. We did brain healing, clearing energy blocks in the brain and the spinal cord. And then this first healing, oh, thank you so much for my confirmation. And then this first healing in this set, this twin set of 2 healings, we not only did brain healing and clearing energy blocks, so that you have better communication in your spinal cord and your brain, you know, on a cellular level and in between the sections of your brain and your spinal cord, so that it does whatever it needs to do. Just clear blocked energy out of the way, to the extent that's healthy and gentle to do it this time. So not only do we do that, and the central nervous system, I started using initials too in the last healing. So I'm going to just write those out. So central nervous system, CNS. On keyboard, CNS, there we go. So that's spine and brain, spinal cord. And then ENS is the enteric nervous system, enteric, E-N-T-E-R-I-C, enteric nervous system, which is basically your gut, if you want to just use a catch-all phrase. But it's from your esophagus. It's like if you were to eat hard food, the whole path it takes. So your esophagus, your stomach, your intestines, large and small intestine, and your I always rectum. Sorry. Little bit of a mental block about the rectum, I guess. Anyway, so CNS and ENS, and they need to communicate with each other. Your gut has a lot of nerve cells lining the gut, basically, and so anything that has communication involved, even with hormones and or even on a chemical level or on an electrical level, energy clearing can help. But, you know, disclaimer, I would not use just this type of work as a complete 100% substitute for actual medical care from a Western doctor or an Eastern doctor. Often I prefer Eastern medicine, but, you know, depends on the situation, obviously, the malady, right? So, and I would personally lean on preventative care and, you know, healthy lifestyle stuff a lot more. And so I would say that this energy work kind of stuff falls under that heading of preventative care really well. It could also be if you already have an issue, but then if you already have an issue, depending on how manifested it is, you might need to substitute as well, like, you know, an Eastern, like an acupuncturist as well. Add in an acupuncturist or Western doctor. But, you know, so you know, just so I'm not advocating like no medical care. That's not what I'm trying to do. And I'm obviously not a medical expert, even though I'm using medical terms, so don't get that confused. But anyway, So then we're going to take it one step further today. So with today, we're going to, because in the last healing, 3 days ago on Thursday, we cleared energy blocks, and it was super cool. And it was simple. You would think with all these terms and stuff, it's going to be really complicated. It was incredibly simple. And it helped a lot of people, even to the point where they noticed, But you would think, well, okay, Jana, but you're not working on the themes, because I barely mentioned even the words in the theme in the whole healing. I did when we were doing chakra unblocking, because you can unblock, specifically in general and then 4 themes. So I did then, but the rest of it was just the angels told me that doing this type of work would help the themes. So we did it, but it was sort of like, you kind of have to take my word for it and go along and see, But today it will be very overtly about the themes. What we're going to do is kind of a 3-part thing today. So it's this stuff, but specifically we're going to, because we unblocked, we looked at just a simple red flowing line to represent your CNS, spinal cord and brain, your central nervous system, and then your ENS, your enteric nervous system, your gut, the whole pathway, all the nerves and the communication that runs it and stuff, which I did mention in the last healing, which is important context. I think that, your gut, it produces most of your serotonin in your body, not all, but most of it. And serotonin helps with mood, sleep, but also I think bone density and something else really important too. So there's it's all important stuff, it's anyway, so we just unblocked the communication within each system and also from one to the other, because they do need to be able to talk to each other and work together. The gut needs to send the messages to the brain needs to send messages to the gut. And so you can have old baggage or other people's energy as energy blocks, either sort of hampering the effectiveness of that communication within each system, or hampering the sort of the purity of the communication between the systems, so wedged in between them. You can have baggage there too. So it was just a nice, easy visual representation, red flowing line, and then can the energy flow easily and without being distorted in between the two systems. So I figured I would get hot. I get hot during these healings. Anyway, so not only are we going to unblock those systems and in between those systems, but we're going to say, okay, well, but what about what blocks trigger specifically in regards to time management? And then we'll clear the blocks there. And we'll also do blanket exercise to clear baggage for time management. And then we'll look at focus and what blocks in your CNS and your ENS or in between there trigger for focus. And we'll clear those. And then we'll also do blanket exercise to clear focus back. But even before, so each aspect of the theme will clear it both ways, with CNS and ENS block clearing, and also just plain old blanket exercise. And I'm going to add a 5th because a 4-part theme isn't complicated enough. I'm going to add a 5th thing. So it's time management, focus, productivity, self-discipline, and self-care. Because I think self-discipline, it could just be halfway my baggage, but I think it's sort of a common type of baggage where when you hear self-discipline, it just seems so authoritarian. Even though I mean self-discipline, working towards your own goals and being your own motivator, and but I think if we add self-care to it, then because self-care is so critical. Like if you and especially with time management. Like I think time management, productivity, and self-care, it's like if you had those three, you're golden, right? So it's like, because you got to fit in time for your self-care and fit in time to be productive. And a lot of times people just have mental blocks about it because it's not that complicated. Like if you have a beverage while you're working, you're going to end up drinking it without even thinking about it if it's a good beverage, if it's healthy. And hopefully it's healthy. So, a lot of it, it's like, it's more of an energy thing, not like, oh, it's so hard. It's like if you clear the blocks, I don't think it becomes as hard. So that's that, right? So we'll be clearing blocks from each aspect of the 5-part theme of time management, focus, productivity, self-discipline, and self-care. 2 ways, right? So CNS-ENS unblocking and blanket exercise. But even before we get to that, we will do first, before that, we will we'll heal the most avoidant parts of you. Because I was looking at some sample people and they really have buried sample people, meaning people the angels highlighted to be like, okay, what does that person need? And that's what you need to put in this. Excuse me. That's what you need to put in this healing. So the sample people that what I was looking at, it's like they have baggage. Like this one guy I was looking at, his wife pays for him to get this set and also her son to get this set and herself, right? And so, and she says in her survey, which is very helpful, I do read the surveys and it helps me plan. So she said her husband really has issues with time management. And the angels kind of made that jump out at me, And so he was a sample person. And his baggage around time management is this really like heavy duty past life that he had. And I don't think I'll get into like reading it in detail just because I don't want to like go down, a big detour, get distracted. But long story short, he has shame and grief and just a lot of shame and grief around time management from that past life and what happened to him in that past life, what he did and what then resulted from his actions in that past life. So, and if we just did a normal, like, okay, let's clear time management baggage, that wouldn't clear because there's a part of him that is so motivated to bury that deep, deep, deep and never, ever work on it. It's because shame is really a heavy duty thing, and it's like, you just never want to think of it ever again. It's like, oh, that didn't happen, so the desire to repress can be very strong, even if it's totally healthy and gentle to clear right now. And it would lift you up. It wouldn't be too much, So first, we'll heal the parts of you that are most avoidant, most motivated to keep repressing baggage around these 5 themes. And then we'll do the 2-part clearing with the CNS and ENS unblocking and the blanket exercise. I hope that makes sense. Because I think that way we will get more lasting change. Because sometimes, people are trying to change something about themselves and it's like, it can get sort of frustrating and even embarrassing if people are like, my God, how have I not gotten better with this yet? Like, how has this not changed yet? It can kind of erode your confidence, because you're like, well, everyone says you can change, and I see other people around me changing, but I still have this issue, and I've had it my whole life, So it's kind of like, it can get people to think like, well, what's wrong with me, Which, you know, there's nothing wrong, you know, but so anyway, so this will be a nice way to get at some of those more stubborn things, I think. In a healthy and gentle way. So that'll be nice. So that's it. So it's a pretty simple healing, really. First we'll, you know, heal the most avoidant parts of you, and then we'll unblock basically to help the theme, the 5-part theme. In those 2 ways. Unblock CNS and ENS and do blanket exercise. And we'll do the 5 essentials, of course, because you have to. I mean, if people need the 5 essentials and they don't do it, it's just pointless. So there's that. I don't know yet if I'll sort of mush the 5 essentials with all this work. I may. Like, I'll probably do grounding and heal the most avoidant parts of you together. And then maybe I'll do the other 4 essentials and then we'll do the other stuff. Yeah, I think that's the way. So, hope you like it. It's gonna be cool. So I'm gonna look at chat comments, which I don't have many, which makes sense because I didn't even make the event for today until like 3 minutes before the live stream started. Sorry about that. For those of you that don't know me, like, that's not really a shocking thing. But if you do notice that it's healing day and there's no event for the healing, drop me an email if you don't mind. Because it's not that I'm not working, you know, I'm like reading surveys and studying and, you know, stretching and trying to get my energy just right and everything. But, you know, it's not uncommon that making the actual event for the live stream slips my mind. But, you know, it does probably cause confusion and stuff. So I apologize. And I will try to get better with that. But in the meantime, feel free to email me if you notice something like that. Make events the day before. All right, we'll see if that helps. Here's hoping. Okay. All right, so let's see. So if you want, feel free to say hi, say where you're viewing from, what the weather's like. I am in Olympia, Washington, and it is bright but partly cloudy. It's been very nice weather lately. We had like 2 sunny days in a row that were sunny all day. We're like moving more towards the time of year where it's always sunny. In the summer, it never rains here in the summer usually, and it's very often sunny. Or if it's cloudy, it's super bright anyway. But the fall, winter, and early spring can be very, very rainy and or cloudy. But not today. I mean, today it's okay. It's sort of partly sunny. It's nice. And maybe high 60s, I would say, Fahrenheit. We can see and hear you. Thank you. Hey Janet, we can see you and hear you in Chicago. 57 and sunset. That's cute. Thanks for the sunset report. That's nice. You could tell me if it's an especially bright sunset. Sometimes the sunsets are really gorgeous. I used to, when I lived in Chicago, at one point I had an apartment that was high up and was on the 11th floor. And I had this great west view, like towards O'Hare Airport, and I could see sunsets. It was so nice. So nice. Hey Janet, can see and hear you. Angels woke me up from my nap. LOL. That's cute. Well, that's good. I'm glad you were napping. Naps are good. Someone says, yes, I was checking for the event to turn on notification, but I felt like I was going to disturb you by sending an email. No, it doesn't disturb me. I mean, if you like spiritually are like, I hate you for not setting up an event, it may disturb me, but I do have pretty good boundaries. So even if you raged at me about it, I don't think it would be much of a distraction to me. But if you just say, oh, just a reminder, there's no event yet, I would be grateful for sure. You wouldn't disturb me at all. But anyway. I am going to skip your comment, but I'm glad you're here, and hopefully the grounding stuff that we're going to do very soon will help you. I mean, you're not getting the healings, but you could follow along and ground yourself. That could be cool if you want. Someone says, my little one says he can also see and hear you. Oh, how cute is that? Well, you tell your little one he's a rock star. And I will give him a thumbs up. Let me see. Where's my thumbs up? I'm going to do thumbs up just for him. I'll do butterflies just for him. How about that? Do you like butterflies? So those butterflies are just for him. Yay, butterflies. But if you would, if everyone wants, could you give this live stream a thumbs up? Because then maybe YouTube will show it to people, even though the event was just created like moments ago. And even later, if it's a video, please also give it a thumbs up. There we go. There's the thumbs up. All right. Oh no, no rage from me. I know. I was just showing an example. All righty. Do. Okay, so we'll just do like 2 or 3 minutes of quiet, during which time I will finish my prep and say hi on a spirit level to the 132 people that I'm about to heal. Oh, and I didn't do a country count. Let me do my country count. I always love that. Probably the only one. Well, one of the only ones. Okay, so for newbies, who I'm healing is people that purchased this set of healings in advance on my website, jwhealing.com. And anyone can purchase. It's not like, an inside club or anything. And you would be purchasing for a future set. Like the May and the June sets are on my website. And the May theme has to do with social interactions, but also self-love and confidence. And the June theme has to do with getting stuff done, taking action, rah, get it done, go for it kind of vibe, but also confidence. So good stuff on my website. Okay, so the country count. So 132 people in 12 different countries, including 107 people in the US, 6 people in the UK, 5 people in Qatar, 3 in Ukraine, 3 in the United Arab Emirates, 2 in Canada, 1 in South Korea, 1 in Norway, 1 in Germany, 1 in Japan, 1 in India, and 1 in Australia. So hello to all the people that I will be healing. And also, of course, hello to everyone that is watching live, which may or may not be people I'm healing. And if you are watching, but you didn't purchase the healing, you can just learn and heal yourself as you watch. Because as I heal, I say what I'm doing as I do it. So you could wing it and follow along. Heal yourself. Okay. Okay, thanks for waiting. This is going to be a fabulous combination. I can't wait. So we're going to work grounding, and we're going to also heal the most avoidant parts of you, which will help you to grow and make progress in areas that maybe it's been hard to make progress in. Let's do it. So go ahead and recreate both your groundings, get rid of the old ones, make new ones, make them both the same color, either red or orange or yellow. Make them nice and wide as all your auras, and bring them up high as your third chakra, which is right below your sternum. So third is right around there. There. So bring your grounding up that high. Test your groundings, the color, to make sure you got the one that helps you release the most. Test red groundings, test orange groundings, test yellow groundings. Use your intuition, see which one helped you release more, and go with that one. And then you make a copy out in front of you of your everything, which would be all your 17 auras. And your physical body and your astral body are right in the center of all that, all your auras. And then you have your two big groundings going all the way down to the core of the earth. And your groundings help you to let go of anything that's not you. And it goes down to the core of the earth and gets cleaned out and gets cleaned up and then returns wherever it belongs. So use gold light for your hands. So hand chakras, fingertip chakras, set those with your intention to a metallic gold color. You don't have to be able to see energy yet to do any of this. Just think it. Set your intention that, okay, I'm setting them to gold. So then as they spin, they're generating gold light, right? So then you use the gold light from one hand to unblock the chakras of the other hand. And you have lots of really important meridians in your body, energy pathways that either begin or end in your fingers. So cool. So then go ahead, use all that gold light and comb through your copy of your groundings. You can use gold light everywhere too, especially in the back of your auras. Everyone forgets about the back. Don't forget about the back. But also your groundings. Indie grounding is where you use gold light and you run it through the outer surface of your groundings and you melt away any attachments that are going into your grounding from other people, and any hard objects. Just melt all that away. We want just your grounding to go straight down with no sharing of groundings, because they get clogged more easily that way. So you can sweep together, like if you're sweeping a floor, sweep together and you're grounding all the energy blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. Make them in a big pile and surround them in lots of gold light and say, angels, can you please recycle any invasive energies that are hooked into this junk? Right? And then your angels do that pretty quickly. And then keep using gold light and just melt connections between these energy blocks and people. All sorts of people could be cording on a subconscious level. Don't worry about who or why. Just melt the cords and then keep going and use gold light and melt everybody's energy. Melt the blocks. So they're gone. So let's do that again. Sweep together the baggage in your grounding. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are cording this stuff? Use gold light. Keep melting everybody out. Melt their cords out. And you could just blow up the box at that point, or just keep using gold light until it all melts. And if you're healing someone else, do not blow up their stuff. In my opinion, that is too bossy. Just keep using gold light. That way the person lets go and they participate fully in the release. Not just you coming in and bossing things around. So sweep together the baggage in your groundings. Angels, can you recycle any invasive energies hooked into this stuff? Keep using gold light, melt cords from people. Keep using gold, melt the blocks. All right, so that's good enough for grounding for now. So the most avoidant parts of you can really get in the way when you're trying to create positive change. You're trying to improve your life. You're trying to change. You can have subconscious, often subconscious parts of you, sometimes conscious parts of you that really resist that and really like, no, 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 no. We can never, these are bad things that happen to us. We're never gonna, don't go there, But in order to change, you do need to clear baggage. You don't have to relive anything. You don't have to get a PhD in psychology and do 20 years of therapy to do it, but you do have to clear some really horrific experiences that have happened to you in this life and past lives in order to really transform yourself. But like I said, it can be fairly painless, if you just do your grounding first and you do what we're about to do, which is heal the most avoidant parts of you. So you have parts that are like, oh, positive change is so wonderful. It takes bravery, but it's so worth it, right? And then you have parts of you that are like, over my dead body, I'm never looking at that stuff ever again. You can't make me, right? And so we need to heal those parts, right? So just imagine if there are any subconscious parts of you that for whatever reason, and it could be good reasons, are super resistant to changing, super resistant to dealing with old baggage and clearing it. So line up all those parts of you. So it can look like little mini versions of you with like, funky attitudes. So line up all these most avoidant parts of you and just say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to heal all these parts right now? That way, if there's some part that's just a little too much, your angels will sweep it away for you. And then give these little mini yous a healing. Lots of gold light. You can bring up red earth energy and then orange earth energy straight from the core of the earth, orange earth energy, and then yellow earth energy, and just lots of gold light. And be like, hey, it's okay. You just deserve a healing. It's all right. It's okay. And don't expect any like charming responses from these parts of you. Parts of you could be sad. They could be, really quiet. They could have all sorts of different moods, and don't let it surprise you or bum you out or anything. It's okay. You're the powerful healer that can save the day, basically, and heal these parts of you with lots of gold light. You could say too, angels, can you please help me heal these parts of me? You can also say, angels, if there are any invasive energies messing with these parts of me, can you recycle those parts? Please recycle those beings. Any invasive beings, can you recycle them? And the number of these mini yous should be reducing because as they heal, the energy dissolves and you get it back. It's no longer like this separate part of you protesting your positive change. So, and if you have some parts that just aren't clearing, just aren't like sort of transforming, and so that you get back the energy, just say, angels, can you help and heal these? Can you help me heal these parts of me? All right, good job. So let's do the heal most avoidant parts of you just one more time. Okay, so if you still have any parts of you that are still avoidant and avoiding positive change in the areas of time management, focus, productivity, self-discipline, or self-care, any parts of you that are sort of in the way of that and really like motivated to not change and not work on things. So line up those parts of you and just give those parts of you a healing. Don't scold them. Just, gold light, earth energy. Let them get the healing they need. so that energy can transform. You can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are messing with these parts of me? Angels, can you help me heal these parts of me? So they should all dissolve when you get the energy back. If not, just wrap those parts of you in gold light, hand them to your angels and say, angels, can you help me heal these parts? All right. And then we'll just do a quick blanket exercise for those themes that I just mentioned. So put out a big gold blanket out in front of you and pile onto it any baggage that you're ready to clear. It's healthy and gentle to clear. For any of these that it's in the way of you improving in your time management, focus, productivity, self-discipline, and or self-care. So put all that baggage out in front of you on the gold blanket and say, angels, you double check all this and make sure it's healthy and gentle to clear right now. Deep breath while your angels check. And then the angels, can you recycle any invasive energies that are hooked into this stuff? And let your angels do that. And then just keep using gold light, melt cords from people going into the baggage. And then melt the baggage, or you could blow it up. If you have any left over, just wrap it up in gold light and give it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with this? Right, good job. So that was grounding and healing the most avoidant parts of you, and also doing blanket exercise to clear baggage in the way of you improving with your time management, focus, productivity, self-discipline, and self-care. Great job. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Good job. Alrighty. So let's see. Let's do the rest of the 5 essentials. So we'll do the aura repair, chakra repair, creative ring repair, and back of head. Right? Aura repair. So you can comb through the copy of all your auras, and again, you have 17 auras all around you, right? Astral body, physical body, and then 15 auras called Wei Qi auras, W-E-I space C-H-I. Wei Qi is a type of qi that you have. It's strong boundaries energy. Helps protect you and your meridians and everything. And nourish your meridians with gold light. But anyway, so just imagine all your 17 auras. It looks basically like one bubble, but it's really 17 bubbles in the same place. And comb through it with gold light from your hands. And you're looking for rips. And you can see them if you can see energy already. But if you can't yet see energy, just use your intuition. And maybe feeling with your hands. At first, you're like, I don't feel anything, Janet. But eventually, you can kind of feel it. It's like as if you're stepping on a floor and then all of a sudden there's a hole in the floor, but you didn't see it. You're like, whoa. Yeah. That's sort of the feeling. Because like if you press against your aura where it's whole, it kind of bounces. It has a nice buoyancy to it. But then where there's a rip, it's like, it just sort of, your hands sort of fall in. So anyway, assuming that you found some areas that you need to repair, You could repair them one area at a time if you wish. But what we're going to do now is repair all the ribs at the same time. But if you wanted to do local repair on just one area, it's the same process. You just don't have to make the composite copy. You just work that one area. So, but anyway, if you're doing all at once, you make an image, you create an image of a rip, and you say with your intention, okay, this rip represents all the rips in all my 17 auras that I have right now. And then if you're in a fully private place, like your home basically, you could do what I call the wow version, which is a little more noticeable on a spirit level, but if you're in your home, it doesn't matter. And that is to just use so much gold light, created by your hands, and just flame this composite copy rip so much that you're like crushing all the hard objects that are stuck in there, and you're like freaking out all the invasive beings, and they just rush out. And then you say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that were or are anywhere near these rips? And then you wash out the people with gold light, and you just use so much gold light that all the rips grow back, and the gold mesh spheres, which are all around you in each Wei-Chi aura that generate gold light, those grow back too. 3 of them for each Wei-Chi aura in case you have a rip somewhere. Anyway, it all grows back because you're using so much gold light, so much, and it just sort of cleans out and repairs. Okay, but then you may have a couple leftover rips that are just a little more stubborn, require another go at it. So create an image of a rip and say, okay, well, this represents any leftover rips that I still have. And this time I'll do the version that you could do like in a parked car or something. So it's a semi-private location. It doesn't attract as much attention as the whole massive gold light blowout. So with this, use sticky gold wax. And so it's gold light from your hands that sticks to whatever's not you and makes a big lump. And then you remove the lump and give it to your angels. So you have your composite copy rip that represents your leftover rips, fill it with sticky gold wax, and have it bond to all the stuff that's not you. So hard objects, invasive people, invasive beings. And you lift it all out at once as a big lump and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So there's your composite copy rip, sticky gold wax. Lift all that junk out at once. Angels, here you go. And then get the gold light as deep as you can in there. And angels, can you recycle any invasive beings anywhere near these rips and any invasive beings that are in the way of the repair? And then just keep using the gold light till the rips fully grow back. Ripped parts grow back. And you can kind of go back, make sure there aren't any hard objects still there. If there are, you can just crush those with the gold light, melt them fully. And then just double check, go run your hands through the outer surface of all the 17 auras. Make sure there are no leaky areas. If there are, just do a little extra, pop out the hard objects. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of the repair? And repair the little gashes that are left over. All right, good job. Woohoo! That was aura repair. Okay. So your creative rings are up here, 1, 2, 3. They generate gold light along with your manifestation wings. That'll be fun. Okay, this will be a fun combo. So we'll do creative rings, which are up here, generate gold light. Part of you is a spirit. 1, 2, 3, 3 gold rings. And then manifestation wings, which when they are healed and whole and rocking, they look like giant angel wings. They're gold, which, how cool is that? They're part of you as a spirit, part of your astral body. They generate a lot of gold light when they're working properly. And your 7th chakras, which are in your head and the top of your head. Ideal color for those is purple. Any shade of purple you want. And just for kicks, I will put up the manifestation wings graphic that I have, which I think is pretty. If I can find it. I know I have it. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Sorry to make you wait. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know why I couldn't find that. I had to add it all over again. Anyway, there it is. They're cute. But in reality, they're really huge. If they're, as large as they can be, like they're like about almost as high as your head, and then they could be almost touching the ground. Like they're so massive. But the point is not how large they are. The point is the quantity of gold light that they generate. That's the whole point of them. But looking cool is kind of a cool thing. All right. So thank you for your patience there. All right. So creative rings, manifestation wings, and your 7th chakras. 7th chakras help with confidence, identity, focus, having goals, being in charge of your life, autonomy, empowerment. A really important thing. So let's just do it. So let's start with creative rings. Gold light. 3 gold rings. You can have a copy out in front of you of your 3 gold creative rings. You can spread out mount too. So there's 1 ring, 1 ring, 1 ring. And just use gold light from your hands and heal each of those. And then you can flip them over so you see the underside of each one and heal them that way. Just use so much gold light that they clean off really well. You say angels if there were or still are any invasive beings anywhere near these creative rings or hooked into them. Can you recycle those beings? And then you can just see the copy in a more realistic way, you know, all stacked up on top of each other, the creative rings, and unblock inside the creative rings are unblocked so energy can flow properly through them. And make sure the flaps are shut on the creative rings by melting all the cords so that the flaps shut. And the flaps, when they're open, they look like this, which is an irritated state, which makes it a lot easier for people to cord you. You don't want that. So just if you melt all the cords, then the flaps can relax and shut. Which kind of feels like all of a sudden your brain gets a lot more streamlined. It's like you know, somebody in their survey, they said that when they're falling asleep, when they were falling asleep, they noticed a lot more noise. And I think part of that was their creative rings, the flaps were open. So that's one thing you could check for. There are other ways too to kind of work your serenity before you sleep. But I think in that case, it was just open flaps on the creative rings. So then manifestation wings, like I said, they're in back here in the back of your astral body, and they get starter energy from like your upper back area, like right around here, the base of your neck and your back of your shoulders, your upper back. So you want to unblock that area so that the starter energy can come in, enough starter energy so that your manifestation wings kind of perk up. And then you can use lots of gold light on both sides of your creative rings. I'm sorry, of your manifestation wings. And like use gold light from the back of your shoulders and the little crease in between the back of your shoulders and your manifestation wings. And then the both sides of your manifestation wings. So just get so much gold light that there's not, you melt away all the blocked energy. And you can say angels if there are any invasive beings anywhere near my manifestation wings. You recycle them. And you might have blocked energy in between the back of your shoulders, like where your shoulder blades are, and then your manifestation wings. You could have just a lot of blocked up energy there. So go ahead, melt those blocks. You want the gold light from your manifestation wings to be able to be absorbed into your body, your back and your aura and your auras and everywhere. But if you have a lot of like junk right here in your auras, right around your shoulder blades and your back, then it kind of blocks the gold light from permeating properly. So just your auras right around your back and around your skin and just beneath your skin of your back. Just use a lot of gold light, melt any blocked energy. Okay, and then your 7th chakras, like I said, they're in your head, in the top of your head, and we're about to repair and unblock all your chakras at the same time, but we could do a little bit extra with the 7th chakras at first. So 7th chakra, the orientation is this way. So this is a basic chakra shape, an open cylinder, equally open on both ends, to facilitate as much flow as possible. So just set your 7th chakras to your favorite shade of purple, or whatever shade that you feel would help you the most right now of purple. You could use lower vibration colors like red, orange, yellow, green, blue. But I think if you do use the rainbow system, like red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple, it allows you to know what color then each of your aura layers should be, because you normally do it a certain way. And I think just having the gradually faster vibration as you go up, it tends to work for the body. It's like a sort of like a bicycle that doesn't wobble, you know, if it's a very gradual, like faster thing, faster vibration. So red, orange, yellow, those are the first 3, you know, first chakra, second chakra, third chakra. And those chakras tend to prefer those slower moving vibrations, sort of more stabilizing for them. So anyway, it works, but if you want to deviate, you could, I guess. But I would not go higher than that. Like, I mean, you could set your chakra to 7th chakra to gold, I guess, but that might be a little ungrounding. I mean, maybe for like a moment, you know, but then, you know, purple is probably more centering. Well, higher than that, you know, white or silver is really, I wouldn't recommend that at all. Too fast. You can unblock above your 7th chakras. It would be above your head, and your aura is above your head. And check the flaps of your 7th chakras too. If they're open, you know, it looks like this, but you know, the outer surface is purple, and then the flaps it could be open right there, and the round opening in the bottom of your 7th chakra, those flaps could be open. So you just check for those flaps and keep melting blocks and melt cords so that those flaps can relax and fall shut. And melt away blocks above and below your 7th chakras. And we can think about the theme of the 5-part theme. So we'll just do it one at a time. So melt blocks for time management that are in your 7th chakras, in or around your 7th chakras. And melt blocks for focus, anything that's blocking you progressing with your focus in your 7th chakra. Melt those focus blocks out of your 7th. And productivity. Just so any 7th chakra baggage having to do with productivity, just melt that away. Self-discipline. So working towards your own goals, even if sometimes it's not so fun. Being able to stay on track with your goals. Melt any baggage about that out of your 7th chakras. Melt the blocks in the way of your self-discipline. And self-care. Right? So if you have any baggage in your 7th chakra or around your 7th chakra around self-care, just go ahead and melt it away. Oh, so creative rings, 7th chakras, manifestation wing. you can have a lot of energy, like say, so your wings are right here, right? So then you can have a lot of energy like pressing in on the back, on your sort of where the starter energy comes, but like the back of the wings right there, like just a lot of pressure. So if you have any invasive beings, sending a lot of pressure there. So angels, can you recycle any invasive beings messing with this area, putting pressure on my manifestation wings? And then just if you could have blocked energy back there. So just get the blocks together and say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into these blocks? And then melt the blocks. All right, good job, good job. Woohoo! Okay, so we're going to repair and unblock all your chakras at the same time, including your 7th chakras, which we just did in detail. So all your chakras, meaning all major chakras and all minor chakras. So 7 major chakras, like 7 physical body chakras along your spine, and 7 astral body chakras along your spine. Those are major chakras, but then all your other chakras, I just call them minor chakras so that I have a term. But they're not minor at all. They're very important because it includes all your acupuncture points. Those are all little chakras. Okay, so this is the basic chakra shape, equally open at both ends, open cylinder. So you can make an image similar to that and just say, okay, well, this represents all my chakras of my body and my spirit. And use cold light from your hands and unblock, melt cords. You're melting baggage, you're melting cords, repair. There could be gashes. There could be hard objects stuck in these chakras, so you could just pop out the hard objects, let them explode. There could be invasive beings hanging on. So just say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with any of these chakras, can you recycle them? Oh, you know what? We will also do at the same time. Also joints. Will repair leaky joints. And what motivated me to combine them is because somebody in their survey, they were like, oh yeah, I have some, well, 2 different people actually. One person was like, well, I have this problem with my spine, this area of my sacrum and my, I forget what the vertebrae that are right above the sacrum. But it was like all of those they have a problem with. And it just looked like leaks that just were a little stubborn on an energy level. And then this other person was like, yeah, I have this problem still that's kind of stubborn with my 5th chakra, that they're invasive energies that I can't kick out. But it actually wasn't a chakra issue. It was the joints of your spine. And because it's in the same location, like, like say if this is the back of your 2nd chakra, the back of your 2nd chakra could be just fine, astral and physical, but it could be that you have leaks in the disc joints and facet joints in that area of your spine. And so the invasive beings, it looks like they're hooked into the chakras, but they're really just hooked into the areas of your spine that are the joints in your spine that are leaking energy. So that's why I want to combine them. So facet joints, I should put up an image of that too. La, 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 la. Okay, here we go. So that is a big image of right there is 2 vertebrae and the light blue area. It's like a back view, viewing from the back, and then the light blue area, those are facet joints, F-A-C-E-T, facet joints. And then the disc joint is in front, and it's a bigger, chubbier, it looks like the filling in a cookie. Like the filling in an Oreo cookie looks like a disc joint. So the facet joints, just all along your spine, just use lots of gold light and maybe red earth energy. That could be nice. And why would facet joints be so stubborn? Usually it's because maybe some family members are courting and you kind of have a mental block about seeing that they're that invasive. And so you don't really, part of you doesn't want to see that, your husband or your brother is courting into this area, these facet joints. So you just are like, so consciously you really want to know, but subconsciously you're like, I don't want to know. So just whatever, make peace with those parts of you and pop out all the cords going into your facet joints. And also recycle any invasive beings that are courting into your facet joints or your disc joints. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are courting into my facet joints or my disc joints? And you could have hard objects stuck also in the facet joints or the disc joints, and that could be a reason why they still haven't healed. So pop out the devices and keep using gold light. So pop out the devices. Angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you recycle them? And use gold light up and down through all your disc joints and all your facet joints. Right? So we'll go back to chakras. I have a copy out in front of you, right? Open cylinder representing all your major and minor chakras, and just use lots of gold light. Relax. Melt the cords away so that the flaps can relax and fall shut. So it's a nice, smooth, round opening. And melt the baggage in the chakras. That's healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. The baggage can look like mud. It can look like hard, burnt, blackened energy. It can look like white. If it's like white or fuzzy, it could be invasive beings. So you can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are around here? You can bring up red earth energy and soak all your chakras with the red earth energy straight from the core of the earth all the way up. Soak all your chakras with red earth energy. Gold light. You can lift out the baggage out of the composite copy chakra and just melt all of it separately. Lift out the baggage. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way? And melt all the baggage. And we were dealing with avoidance, right? The most avoidant parts of you. So you could have some baggage, like shame baggage or fear baggage that's causing you to be avoidant. So lift out anything that's causing you to be avoidant and sort of be anti-positive change. Lift out your anti-positive change baggage and just use a lot of gold light to melt it away. Some people that I'm healing, it's usually their loved one though. Because most people aren't like, yeah, I'm really selfish. I'm a total taker. A lot of people I heal are not totally selfish and not total takers, but the ones that are probably don't want to admit it, so they wouldn't put it in their survey. But I am healing some family members that are clearly stuck in sort of like a me mode. What are you going to do for me? This is all about me. You should give to me all the time, kind of mode. So you can lift out of your chakras any baggage that is causing you to get stuck in like a me mode and feel like you're this black hole of selfishness that, it can never be filled no matter what people do for you. And you're never satisfied. So just melt all that baggage. Melt we'll call it taker baggage. Because, ideally you give to the world, you give to the universe, you give to other people, and you're able to receive as well. And you set up situations that are healthy where you are supported and given to as well. So it feels like it's somewhat balanced, right? So, so in case you have, and maybe it's subconscious, but maybe it's from a past life, you have some baggage that caused you to be a little bit selfish, imbalanced on the selfish end. Lift out the selfishness baggage, the kind of the thoughtlessness baggage, the take baggage, and just melt it away. The angels, if there are any beings associated with this baggage, can you recycle them? And you could have an imbalance the other way, which is probably more common with my clients, where you give, and you're kind of like not really paying attention to the reciprocity idea. And maybe you notice it, but it doesn't stop you from overgiving or whatever, for whatever reason. So maybe you have some overgiving baggage. So just lift that out and just use so much gold light. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this stuff, can you recycle them? And just keep melting this baggage if you have any overgiving baggage. So again, lift out any baggage from your chakras that causes you to overgive and really not pay attention in a healthy way to, these dynamics between you and others. And just and then we'll just do the themes, right? We'll do them all at once because we're going to work the themes a lot today. So if you have any baggage in your chakras that's in the way of you moving forward in time management, focus, productivity, self-discipline, or self-care, just lift whatever's healthy and gentle to clear out of your chakras. And just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this stuff? And then use so much gold light, melt it away. Okay, so again, have a copy of all your chakras out in front of you, lots of gold light, and just lift out what's healthy and gentle to clear to help you progress with productivity, time management, focus, self-discipline, and self-care. Melt all that baggage in the way. Couple deep breaths, breathe into your toes, breathe into your spine. And check your joints, your facet joints in the back of your spine. Gold light, red earth energy. I like doing the left side and the right side separately, but you could do them at the same time if you want. All right, good job, good job. Woohoo! Yay. Yeah. Now we'll do back of head stuff. So this shows the meridians in the back of your head. So you can heal these. Just use gold light. You want the meridians, ideally, they would be red, flowy tubes with as much red, flowy life force of yours that needs to flow, like, really unrestricted flow of red, either energy of your body or your energy as a spirit or both, And so, but the tubes can look all like black and sort of compressed or white, or, they can look broken up. They can leak energy if they're damaged. So you just use lots of gold light and repair them. And red earth energy, you can bring up red earth energy and soak them all in red earth energy. And the aura is directly behind all these meridians. It's always true that the auras around an area of your body are very important for the wellness of that part of your body, because the auras are supposed to protect and support. And so if they're all crusty and or ripped up and, hardened and blocked, then that's not happening. Right? So just comb through the base of your skull, back of your head, outward, gather up all the energy blocks within your head, within your auras right there that need to be cleared. And say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And keep using lots of gold light. Melt away cords from people and melt the blocks. You can give yourself a little massage in the base of your skull if you need to. Make a nice red grounding all the way from the core of the earth all the way up to this area of the back of your head. And again, just comb through the back of this area in your auras and gather up the energy blocks. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings plugged into these? And just keep using lots of gold light and melt the blocks. Good karma windows are back here too, and they're a part of your astral body aura. And so, like all your auras, if they're whole and properly flowing, they're just like a big bubble all around you, right? So your astral body and your physical body aura, they have 7 layers, right? One layer, each layer is generated by one of your major chakras. So back here in the astral body, you have the good karma windows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So each one is a triple frame window, and you just use lots of gold light and unblock and heal and repair. Right? So you want to repair so that nothing can get through but the energy that you want to come through, your positive change energy, good karma energy from the universe, just uplifting energy, a small amount of it from the moon and the stars, just the good stuff. So you can lift out any hard objects that people threw that got stuck in there and let those melt away. Lift out the hard objects in that area, melt them away with cold light. You could have some invasive beings that have kind of worked their way through if there was a lot of damage in that area. So just say, angels, if there's any invasive beings in this area, can you recycle them, please? You can say too, because sometimes as you're working in areas, some invasive beings are smart enough to move out, but then they're just waiting to kind of, take advantage of you later when you're in a bad mood or something. So just if there's like a sort of a invasive being waiting area, just say, angels, can you recycle all those beings? An unofficial invasive being waiting room. Say, angels, can you recycle all of them? They don't have to be all in the same exact location. I'm just kind of making a joke out of it. Sometimes when you're working this area, you might have an invasive being that's like half in, half out of, some of your meridians or something, or one of your chakras. And so it feels kind of weird. So you can just say, angels, if there's any invasive beings half in, half out, can you recycle them? So that can help to make things feel better. You want to test to see if gold light can come all the way through all the good karma windows. Because if there's too many energy blocks, then it's like it comes in gold and then it can turn like to lower and lower vibrations, which, you know, if it ends up being red, you know, how bad is that? Well, if you're trying to bring in gold, you should be able to bring in gold, right? So just clear enough baggage so that the gold stays gold if that's what you're trying to bring in. All right, good enough. Woohoo! Yay! Good job, good job. Okay, so we are woo, we are done with the 5 essentials, and you're a rock star. So now we will do two-way clearing for all aspects of the theme. And we'll do it one at a time. Okay, so like I said, we'll do two-way clearing. One way is we'll imagine the central nervous system and the enteric nervous system. So your brain and your spinal cord and your gut, your digestive system. But the nerves and all that communication that runs your digestive system included. So central nervous system, brain and spinal cord. Enteric nervous system is your gut, we'll call it, right? So brain and gut, if you want a high level. Okay, so we'll unblock within those systems and in between those systems so that your baggage and old stored trauma isn't altering the functioning of these systems, right? So that's what we'll do. And then we'll also just do blanket exercise, you know, gold blanket, pile the baggage on top, clear it, right? So we'll do it for each aspect of the theme. So right now we're doing time management. Oh. Hold on one sec. Okay, even better. Alrighty. So, time management. Blanket exercise is simpler, so let's do that first. So big old blanket out in front of you, pile onto it any baggage that you have regarding time management. And don't worry about censoring it because we'll ask the angels if it's too much. So all your time management baggage, put it on the gold blanket. You may need a really big gold blanket to fit everything. all your time management baggage. And just say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? That way they'll edit if needed. Angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And then you do the rest, gold light, melt quartz, bring up red earth energy from the core of the earth, soak all that baggage, and just lots of gold light. Melt all this baggage. Melt everybody out, melt their cords out. Stay here. You can wiggle your butt. Don't get too serious. Because you'll clear faster if you have sort of a lighthearted attitude about it. Do it. You could do it. You could do it. All right. Good job. So now we will clear blocks with CNS and ENS, right? Central nervous system and enteric nervous system, your brain and spinal cord and your gut, right? So red flowy lines to represent each of those systems. And then you want to see the communication between them just as a space that, you want to be able to have like a red ball of energy go all the way through without colliding with baggage and go all the way through to the other system without hitting a bunch of baggage and getting distorted by your baggage, right? So imagine those two systems, CNS and ENS, and just imagine any blocks in this view. Have the blocks be really obvious, like big heavy things sitting there, right? And so any time management blocks in the CNS or ENS or in between. Time management blocks. And so those are the blocks that you want to clear. The angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all these right now? Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And then you can do the rest. So gold light through those blocks. Keep going, gold light through the blocks. Melt cords from people, get everybody out, and just keep using gold light until all these blocks melt. And once they melt, just take some deep breaths. Be in your spine, be in your hips, be in your fingers and your toes. All right. So good job, good job. Let's do the next part of the theme. Focus. Holy grail, right? Focus. Right? Now make a big old blanket out in front of you, pile onto it any focus baggage you have. It could be other people's energy in your space. It could be just awful stuff somebody dumped in your space. It could be your own trauma and baggage from this or past lives, whatever. Any focus baggage, pile it out there. The angels, can you recycle? Angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? And then angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this stuff? And then you can do the rest. Just use lots of cold light, melt cords from people, going into all this junk. And melt everybody out. And once you got everybody out, you could blow it all up if you prefer, or you could just keep using gold light till it all melts. All right. And then your CNS and ENS systems, right? Central nervous system, brain and spine. ENS, your gut. Red flowy lines for each. See the energy blocks in these systems or in between these systems relating to focus, right? So if you clear these blocks, you could improve in focus, right? So see the blocks. Hey, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear these blocks? Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into these blocks? And then lots of gold light. Melt cords from people going into the blocks and melt the blocks. Let's do that one more time. Like there's a lot in that one. So, flowy red line for your CNS, brain and spinal cord. Flowy red line for your ENS, your enteric nervous system, basically your gut. And see the flow in each system and the flow in between them. What blocks in these systems or in between these systems get in the way of your focus? See those blocks. Say angels or imagine them. And say angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all these right now? And angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into these blocks? And then go ahead, use lots of gold light through all the blocks until they melt. Gold fire. You could make gold fire and just have it kind of cling to the blocks until they're melted. All right, good job, good job. Productivity. How cool is that? So productivity, let's do blanket exercise first. So big old blanket out in front of you, pile onto it any productivity baggage that you have. Guilt, shame, embarrassment, fear, whatever. Anything, avoidance, any productivity baggage that you have. Put it out on the blanket. And it could be stuff from other people that's in the way of your productivity, that's in your space. So put all that out there. The angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? And then angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? Deep breath while your angels do that. All right. Then you do the rest. Lots of gold light. Bring up red earth energy. Bring it all the way up, up. And melt away quartz from other people. And keep melting everybody out of these piles. Right? You want to melt your productivity baggage. Lots of gold light until it all melts away. Or you could blow it up. That's fun too sometimes. And center yourself. If some of it isn't melting yet, just center yourself. Relax. It's always kind of ironic. Like the less you... Like you can kind of try too much and you're not centered then. So if you just center yourself and try a little bit less in a way, you know, like don't be like, oh, I gotta do it. There we go. Good job. All right. CNS and ENS for your productivity. So red flowy line for your CNS, red flowy line for your ENS. So brain and spinal cord, your gut. See the blocks in these areas or in between these areas that are in the way of your productivity. And, you know, there could be a real link here. You know, it's like some people, they're trying to accomplish a project and all of a sudden they have this massive urge to comfort eat, you know, rather than be productive, you know? So you could have some serious productivity baggage in your gut or in between your brain and your gut. So see those blocks in the way of your productivity. And angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all these right now? Angels, is it, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And then keep using the gold light and melt all the baggage. Melt everybody out of the baggage and melt the baggage. All right, let's do that. Just one more time real quick. CNS, ENS, productivity baggage. Angels, is it healthy and gentle? Angels, can you recycle invasive beings? Gold light. Melt it all away. All right, keep breathing. Stay here. You can comb through your grounding. Get everybody out. It's not a public meeting area. Comb through everything. Comb through your spine, center your, align your chakras. Right. So now, perhaps the most important two and I'll work them at the same time because I think they really balance each other out. So that could be kind of interesting. Self-discipline and self-care. So being able to work towards your goals, even if they take a long time, even if it's not always fun, even if you have to, you know, kind of push yourself a little, and self-care. So you remember all the little things, you know, the hydration, the supplements, you know, researching your health issues online rather than, you know, just feeling weird about that you have a health issue, you know, being an active person in your self-care, and also self-discipline, working towards all your goals. Okay. So that was explaining actually. So that was explaining. Let me write that out. That was. So that was just explaining so that now we'll do for real. Okay. So we'll do a blanket exercise first. So big old blanket out in front of you, pile onto it all your baggage and everything in your space, blocking you from making progress with self-discipline and also with self-care. So just vomit all the shit out in front of you onto the blanket, you know, just everything from the back of your aura, anywhere, back of your chakras, deep buried somewhere where you're like, oh, I'll never work on that. Yes, put it all out there on the cold blanket. Anything in the way of your self-discipline and self-care from any lifetime that you still have. As the angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? So then your angels can edit it for you. Okay, so now anything that's still there is healthy and gentle to clear. So then, to make it low drama, say angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this baggage, this junk? Right? And then now the rest is easy and you can do it. So bring up red earth energy, soak the pile or piles with red earth energy and use gold light from your hands and melt all the cords from people. Because this could be people that you have talked about with you've mentioned to them your self-care and self-discipline issues, or it could just be, you know, people that you used to date or people, your siblings or whatever. It's just subconscious stuff. Melt all those cords, melt everybody out of all this baggage. Don't worry about who's there and why. And just keep using gold light, and you can do that until it all melts, or at this point you could blow it up too once you've washed everybody out. Deep breath. Okay, so we'll do that one again quickly. So big gold blanket, all your self-discipline baggage, all your self-care baggage out in front of you. Angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And then red earth energy, gold light, melt the cords, melt the baggage. Get everybody out with gold light. And then you could blow it up if you want, or just keep melting it. All right. So now we will do the CNS and ENS work for self-discipline and self-care. So imagine a red flowy line that represents your central nervous system, brain and spinal cord. And imagine a red flowy line that represents your enteric nervous system, your gut, right? Everything from your esophagus all the way down to your... Let's forget it. Oh, I want to say anus, but it's not anus, it's rectum. Rectum, I guess, is before the anus. Oh, fine. So your gut, let's just say your gut, right? So brain and spinal cord and gut, right? Red flowy lines. So imagine any self-discipline baggage in any of these systems or in between them as, easy to see, easy to imagine blocks of hard energy, and imagine a self-care baggage in these systems or in between these systems. And then say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? And then, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? So then lots of gold light. And melt everybody out of this baggage, melt the cords. You can do this, stay here, wiggle your butt. Don't be too serious. Right, lots of gold light. Melt this baggage, melt it away. All right, one more time real quick. CNS-ENS, red flowy lines, self-discipline and self-care baggage. See it, imagine it. Angels, is it healthy and gentle? Angels, can you recycle beings? Melt it with gold light, melt the cords, melt the baggage. All right. Deep breath. You are a total rock star. Woohoo! Oh my gosh. Can't believe we did it. Okay. So, clearing STEBs. STEBs stands for stubborn triggered energy blocks. So it's just stuff that's still triggered, even though we've done so much. So make a big pile out in front of you of all the energy blocks that are still triggered right now on any level, consciously, subconsciously, anything that's bugging you, either about political stuff that's happening, wars, global conflicts, finances, anything that I've talked about today, anything that bothers you at all. Just put all the blocks out in front of you. Bring up red earth energy, soak them all in red earth energy. Say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings plugged into this junk? And then just lots of gold light. Melt everybody out, melt their cords, and melt the baggage, or blow it up once you've gotten everybody out. All right, good job, good job. So aligning chakras is simple. I'm talking about the major chakras. You have 7 major chakras along your spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in the top of the head, right? So get your 7th chakras where you want them. And then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are oriented this way, round opening in the front, round opening in the back. So just have them kind of click into place under your 7th. So you got your 7th where you want, it's nice and unblocked. And then 6th, heal it and unblock it until it clicks into place. 5th, same thing. 4th, it might already be in place, in which case just unblock it a little extra. 3rd, heal it and unblock it until it pops into alignment. 2nd chakra below your belly button, emotion, sexuality, sensuality, unblock, heal and unblock, get everybody out. All right. Feel it till it pops into place. And first chakra, base of your spine, courage, safety, and abundance. Feel it and unblock it with gold light until it pops into place, into alignment. Kundalini chakra is below the first chakra, and it's about half the size of the first chakra. Also, a red is nice. And that's just, you just have one Kundalini chakra. It's a body chakra underneath the physical first chakra. You can unblock that with gold light. And you can leave it at if you're not trying to go to sleep. If you need to go to sleep, then it should not be spinning anymore. You can unblock it and repair it, but it shouldn't be spinning and generating energy if you're trying to go to sleep. But if you're awake and you want to just, have a little peppiness, like a nice low to medium amount of generating energy for your Kundalini chakra is nice. If you're trying to have a sexual experience, then you want it to generate a lot of energy temporarily, your Kundalini chakra. But, you want to be able to turn it up and down and off at will. So just unblock it and repair it so you can do that. Melt cords. All right. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Kundalini. And then bring in positive change energy. So sometimes, you bring in new energy when you wake up in the morning, but also you can bring it in anytime. And your auras are big receiving zones everywhere, right? So if your auras are unblocked enough, you can bring in positive change energy in through your 7th. You can bring it in straight down into your shoulders. You can bring it in through your good karma windows, in through the back of your aura, in through sides or front, anywhere. So you can just unblock everywhere, so that if you're trying to bring in new energy of yours in any of these directions, you're unblocked enough to do that. You can unblock your grounding more. So then you may still have some energy that's sort of queued up, a bit like an airplane that is like circling, but not landing in an airport yet. So it's just sort of, this airplane is just going, is it time yet to come down? And so you could have your energy, your positive change energy that's kind of queued up like that. And for whatever reason, you haven't brought it in yet. But so imagine the energy that would be good, positive change energy of yours that is healthy and gentle to bring in right now, but it's like a little bit stuck up there, maybe because you're blocked down here, right? So just imagine you, and then that positive change energy of yours that's good to bring in right now, but is still not coming in, and unblock yourself and unblock that energy. So you can imagine that energy like colored balls of rainbow colored energy of yours, and then unblock yourself and that energy that's queued up, not coming in. And at some point, it all starts coming in then. The more you unblock up there and the more you unblock down here. At some point, like, okay, I've done enough, and like it's coming in. It's not going to all come in an instant, probably. Some of it will, and then some will just sort of take its time and come in gradually, which is fine. All right. So, as we wrap up, you can just ask your angels, angels, can you help me to wrap up this healing? Deep breath. And angels, can you help me with my time management, focus, productivity, self-discipline, and self-care? And, angels are always trying to help, but sometimes accidentally, we may have, subconscious parts of us that ourselves that are, stuck in some way, or just, the stress that we have. It just accidentally blocks angel help. So you can help to counteract that by intention, by just saying, like giving yourself that intention of, okay, I'm going to let my angels help me today, or I'm going to let my angels help and guide and protect me today, or I'm going to let my angels help and guide and protect me and my body as I'm sleeping tonight. All right. Let's see. Where's my glitter? I want glitter. Well, it's not my favorite glitter, but I'll deal with it because it's the only one I can find right now. Oh, that didn't work so well. It's background glitter. Let's see. Here's my glitter. That's ridiculous. Well, I'll set it for butterflies. I do like butterflies a lot. So, oh, here we go. Here's my glitter. Yay! Good job. That's a healing. You're a rock star. Woohoo! Okay, so the healing is done now. So I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, and you can too as well if you wish. And I will do a moment or two of stretching on camera just to remind you and myself that stretching is really good. And sitting, they say sitting is the new smoking. Like the how sedentary you are. They say you're supposed to move or do something physical every half hour, which is pretty amazing, even just for a few minutes. I know a lot of people don't do that, including myself. So anyway, so that's just part of trying to train myself. Like, hey, move around, and moving is good. Yeah. And then we'll have a post healing chit chat on energy healing topics. So you could, if you want to say in the chat, how you're doing after the healing, how the healing was for you. Also, if you have any follow-up question, especially on interesting aspects to these themes: time management, focus, productivity, self-discipline, and self-care. Okay, so I will be back soon. I will get rid of the camera and you can enjoy this new backdrop of mine. Sometimes it moves and sometimes it doesn't move. I don't know why that is. It's supposed to always move. Let's see. Fix that. There we go. Now I think the movement will be more consistent. All right. So I'll be back. I'm trying to get rid of the camera, but I can't find it. There we go. Okay, I'll be back. Hey everybody, I'm back. So I'm gonna do a little stretching. You don't have to do the same stretching I'm doing, obviously. Do whatever you want. Or don't do any. Whatever. All right. Hello. Welcome back. Hope you had a good break. All right. All right. I'm going to look for comments that I have not read yet. Some says, I love butterflies. Yes. I hope your son saw the butterflies. It says, thank you, Janet. Feeling so much better than earlier. I've been tracking my job change / move momentum, and it looks like I've melted most of the iceberg in my way image that Angel showed me. And I'm moving pretty steadily on my job move path. Yeah, that seems right. Am I reading that right? Yes. No interviews yet, but I do feel good about where I'm at. Yeah. Yeah, I think the positive change energy is coming in nicely. You are moving, if we look just at, are you moving forward with job change and move? It looks pretty steady. I asked the angels what you could possibly do, if there's anything to kind of, improve the situation even more. And it looks like working mind garden, like conscious, subconscious, a garden for your conscious mind, a garden for your subconscious mind, and then the gold flowy divider in between conscious and subconscious, and so that you can become get more clarity about what type of job, and get any sort of inner wisdom, and be able to also your 7th 8th connection, you can unblock more to get more eternal wisdom about the situation and all the decisions involved. So yeah, 7th 8th work a little bit, and then mind garden work, especially that barrier in between conscious and subconscious mind. Unblock that too, so that like whatever on a subconscious level about the job change and move, that you can know it consciously without any sort of unhealthy delays. Yeah. So cool. Hope that helps. Someone says, I started making a mental to-do list thanks to this healing. Oh, isn't that nice? I had been feeling very avoidant before that. Thank you for the healing. How did my dad do? And you mentioned his initials. Thumbs up for the healing. Yes, thank you. Please give the healing a thumbs up, if you would. To your mental list, you could write it down if you want. Sometimes writing things down is nice. You know, like I like using a notepad, you know, on the phone. It's just like a simple thing, you know, or you can write it down on a journal or something. But sometimes, you know, to-do lists, sometimes I'll do it like in a draft email, in my drafts folder in my email, you know, because it's just a, you know, if you go to the email draft, you can edit it and change it, and I don't know. No, but you know, whatever works for your brain. But sometimes some sort of a notation beyond just in your brain can help. But I'm glad that the avoidance is going away. Your dad, yeah, he did well. Before the healing, he was moving forward and then he would stop, and then he'd move forward and stop, which is not uncommon. But now he's like kind of on a roll. He's like he's going at a faster pace, and it's continuous. Oh, he's cute. He was getting because I laughed. I said that and then I laughed, you know, which you saw. But I did that at a spirit level too. So he's like, "Are you laughing at me?" I'm like, "No, just a happy person. I laugh a lot." And so he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the healing." And then, so now he's smiling too. But at first he got all bristly about it. Like, "Why are you laughing?" I asked him if there's anything that his daughter could do, his daughter, um, could do to help him. And he said that he's the one that should be helping you. And then I said, well, okay, but isn't there anything that she could do to help you? And he said, well, if she tells me she loves me. I think he means just telepathically. You don't have to say it like out loud with words. But just if you could do it with angel assisted flowers, so make a whole bunch of flowers, say, you know, I love you, Dad, and then just have your angels check them, and then give them to your angels and say, angels, can you give these to him if it helps? You could actually try that for all your family members. That could be interesting. And if you don't feel like giving I love you flowers to some of your family members, you could think of something else that's positive, like, you know, I hope you're, you know, I wish you lots of health and happiness in this month, you know, that kind of thing, like some kind of a positive thing. And then just give it to your angels so they can clean it off, and they'll give it to that family member if they think it would help. Yeah, that could be nice. But yeah, he did great. He likes these. As far as did he clean out more with that whole conflict with the family member, the legal conflict? Yeah. She does keep getting angel cleanouts now, which is nice. That's new, you know, in the last couple days. That family member that's suing. But he yeah. his angels say wait a few days, and then you can just ask the angels if it's okay for you to give him little healings, quick ones. Like maybe first just start with like grounding. Work up to more of the 5 essentials. Don't just wham bam 5 essentials, because not that it would be too much for him, but it's a kind of a big step for you. And there are boundary issues, and so if you just help him unblock his grounding for like 2 days, once or twice a day, that could be a good way to start. Yeah. So hope that helps. Someone says, thanks. Do I have a lot of potential energy around me? For example, like you said, a plane that I need to reabsorb. Yeah, I'm glad you gave the example, so I know what you mean. Yeah. You gave your initials. Thank you. That is an interesting question, isn't it? Okay, so yes, there is, like the planes wanting to land in the airport kind of idea. You do have a good deal of positive change energy that's sort of queued up out there that's not coming in. And it looks like there's this big sort of silver, almost like a satellite dish, in between you and that energy that's sort of keeping it out. It's not your ex-wife. I think she's officially your ex-wife now, but you know who I mean, like your estranged wife and or ex-wife, whichever it is. But it's not her energy. It's part of the energy of, like when people get married, there's this till death do us part agreement, right? When you marry, you don't marry and say, well, we're marrying until we divorce, on a spirit level. It's not usually not the agreement. Well, actually, subconsciously, it might be in some cases. But anyway, it looks like on a spirit level, it wasn't for you. It was till death do us part. And so the divorce is kind of like you have a couple knots in your brain about it on a spirit level. So that's what that satellite dish is, keeping out your positive change energy. It's like some guilt and some confusion. Like there are parts of you as a spirit that are confused as to what happened to your marriage and why you're not married anymore, and kind of like fixating on what you could have done differently, and kind of spinning your wheels about it. Like if a truck is in a ditch and caught in a ditch and the wheels keep spinning and they're not getting out of the ditch, it's a little bit like that. So you could like do blanket exercise and put all your baggage around, till death do us part, all that stuff, the marriage, the why it didn't work out, any baggage around guilt or shame or confusion or fears or whatever, blah, 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 divorce baggage, and clear it, for a few days. And that probably would melt that satellite dish. I don't think the satellite dish itself is like, it's a representation of a whole bunch of divorce baggage. Because I think you have cleared the till death do us part agreement, but there's still, like I said, all those little aspects. So I think blanket exercise would be fine to clear that. But, I think if you'd probably do it ideally for a few days, not all day, of course, but just, like 2 or 3 minutes, 4 minutes each day after you've grounded. So you give yourself time and space to do more the next day and the next day. Yeah. So interesting question. Hope that helps. Someone says, thank you for healing us. You're welcome. Thanks for the emojis. I feel like am more in my body. That's great. I also feel like I have a stronger, improved bond with my oldest, who also got the healing. I do feel some wax and think it's from his coach. I feel like I play a tug of war when it comes to knowing what's best for my son in the sport he does. He likes to throw him to the wolves while I am more like, let's take it easy, starting to feel like he wants to see him fail to teach him whatever unknown lesson. Yeah, some teachers can be pretty sadistic. Like my gym teacher in elementary school was like that. Mr. Cutler. I still remember. I don't. There's plenty I do not remember from my childhood, but I definitely remember Mr. Cutler. I think he was ex-military. He still had the buzz cut and everything, and he was very much into this whole, like he made everyone run a mile, to the extent that they could, but like you had to run it or jog it or walk it. But if you walked the mile every year, and this is like elementary school, so like from age like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, those ages, 11, 12, I guess. Yeah, 6 through 12, I guess, are the ages typically of that. Well, 6 through 11, yeah. But anyway, there were some people that could jog the whole thing, but the whole mile, but plenty of people, it was hard. And for those of us, including myself, that had a lot of trouble with it, just because we didn't have really active lifestyles. We weren't, just my family was not an active kind of family, physically speaking. And but anyway, so there, I know what you're saying. Like there is a point at which you challenge a child in a way that maybe sometimes they fail, but then there's at least a decent chance of success, so they can be motivated. If the challenges are always so much beyond what they're going to be able to accomplish, it's what do you teach a kid that way? you want to give a doable challenge that's that's suitable for them. So anyway, the coach is a little bit of a sadist. Yeah. Interesting. So so the question is then, what do you do about it? Well, I think the coach whacked you because you were courting him. So that's just what he does with parents that get in his space when he's trying to coach. So I think, I absolutely see why you would do that, but I think the more effective approach is to set up meetings with him and the angels in your sleep, so that the angels pick a good astral level and there's some agreements made. And if you can't come to an agreement, then you yank your kid out of the sport. But if you can come to an agreement, then he will have his angels moderate his own behavior per your agreement. So that would be the more effective and safer way for both of you. So angel meetings. So you're suggesting that right now to him, and he's like, sure, yeah. He's pissed at you though, because you do court him quite a bit. You like basically get in his head. So, which I understand, but not so clean or effective. So anyway, so now there'll be a series of angel meetings probably over the next couple nights, but they'll be with angels, so it won't be like a fight. It won't be violent or anything. Not like now. All right, so hope that helps. Alrighty. Someone says, thanks so much, Janet. I'm having a really tough time finishing the last 2 weeks left of school. And I can't focus on studying for this essay. Will timeline healing help when it comes to school? Also, how is, you're mentioning your friend enjoying the healing? He's funny. When I look at him, he's like, of course I am. Why? What? What did I do something wrong? What? His favorite part is the brain stuff. And focus work. But yeah, his angels are happy. He did well. So finishing the last 2 weeks left of school, your mom is super in your space. I don't know if this schoolwork is so that you ultimately change jobs or you ultimately, but somehow she's really triggered about what this might mean. So I don't know if you're going to then get a different job and earn more money and move out and she'll see you less, or I don't know all the that's involved, you know? But she's definitely in your head. If she was not in your head when you're trying to study, I think you'd be excited that like you're near the finish line, you know, like, okay, I could do this, you know, like the last lap of a race where you're like, okay, I got this, you know? So yeah, it's all about her being in your space. she's like she's like right here when you're trying to study. So I don't know if it probably makes sense once you hear it. You're like, oh my God, yes. So just do what it takes to get her out, you know, gold fire, gold sandstorm. You could have gold sandstorm going the entire time you're studying, like, so like no one could possibly stay there for like longer than a split second and then just be studying. So just have that on like auto scrub. Golden sandstorm as you study, you know, and like a red earth energy soak, because she runs a very frenetic energy when she's in your space, like fear. So it's more of like a white and a silver when she's in your space. So if you just, you know, do a full red earth energy soak while you study, that could work nicely too. So red earth energy soak and the gold sandstorm. I actually have a backdrop it's not spinning though, but it's red and gold. You might like it. There we go. So there's your I get rid of my camera for a sec. There's your red and gold. So yeah, that'd be a good recipe for keeping your mom out while you study. All right, I'm gonna go back to my other stuff I'm liking today, like that. Alrighty, I hope that helps. Congratulations that you are close to the finish line. Great job, great job. You can do it. All right. Someone says, I enjoyed the info about MV. I have no idea what MV means. MV. That the energy they create should wrap around aura and body, and how to heal the facet joints and first left, then right side. Funny vision about invasive beings waiting room. Yeah. I just don't know what MV is. MV. Yeah, oh well. You could tell me what you meant by that, but But yeah, I'm glad the facet joints and stuff helped, because you were one of the sample people about that whole stubborn to heal facet and disjoints thing. So I wonder if, do you physically feel it, and do you feel like it's any better now? Looks better. Okay. Someone says, thanks, Janet. Looking forward to the effects. I need better organization. How did the new people do? Oh, and you mentioned the people's initials. Thank you. I bet this was a great theme for your spouse as well. Yeah, your spouse especially liked this healing. I asked him and he goes, wow. Like, this was next level, Janet. That's funny. That's nice. Yeah, he liked how thorough it was, that we went one by one through the theme and we cleared each aspect of the theme 2 ways. He's talking about focus. Anyway, so needing better organization. Isn't it organization is so interesting, you know? It's a real brain thing. You could keep working that, you know, the brain and the gut, red flowy lines, brain and gut for organization, and just keep looking at, okay, the blocks in the way of you being more organized, and say, angels, can you recycle the beings? And then just lots of gold light and melt it. You know, just keep doing that, you know, because you can do it pretty fast, you know. CNS-ENS blocked for organization, angels recycle beings, and then just skull light and melt all the blocks, you know, and just do it a couple times or something. You know, but you can do that for any topic you want. Anyway, so your new people, you did mention their initials, thank you, but I'm gonna look at their full names just because I can. I have them. So so the first one that you list, he liked it quite a bit. He says he didn't expect to like it that much. I mean, he expected that it would be nice, but it's quite nice, he says. His favorite part was the bringing in the positive change stuff. The second person you list, he says his mind feels more calm, and he got rid of some work stress. So he anticipates this will help him sleep better. And the third person you list, she's smiling a lot. I don't know if she always smiles, but I don't remember her smiling this much at me before. She must have really liked it. Yeah, she did really like it. She's like, it was fantastic. She's not just being polite. She liked it. She liked the productivity aspect of it a lot. It's kind of like personal life productivity. She's hoping that it'll help her with personal life productivity because she gets home and she's kind of burnt out. So she's hoping that this will jumpstart her, you know, what she does on her time off. The fourth person you list, she liked it too, but she's gotten a bunch of the healings, so she always likes them. And she says they do help her mind, like, get rid of the chatter in her mind. Help her feel more at ease around people, coworkers, and people in her personal life. She says thank you. All right, next person. I hope that helped. Well, and thank you for letting me help your people in your life by getting them healings. Someone says, during the healing, I healed the discs on lumbar 5 and sacrum 1. It's not leaking, but maybe I should work more on the auras around. Oh, in your survey, you said lumbar 5 and then you put a dash, sacrum 1. So I thought it was like all the lumbar and all the sacrum. So I guess that's a little better that it's just those 2 discs. I was like, wow, all those you have a problem with? You have like 3 invasive beings. I'll just the angels to recycle them. Angels, can you recycle them? They were like courting those 2 discs, but they have moved out, but they were still courting them. But they're not courting them anymore. But then it's just your brother cords them. You can just smell those cords. I think it's just you now there, but there's there's some energy blocks on them, like little burnt circular discs. It seems like some stuff from your brother from when you were a kid. Seems like it cleared now. You can just keep working that. Gold light, earth energy, red earth energy. But yeah. It's not leaking, but maybe I should work more on the auras around. Is it accurate? This would help me a lot. My focus on being a pro path. Is it accurate? This would help me a lot. Focus on being a pro path. So becoming a pro reader healer, would healing those 2 discs help with that? No, it's just a really great idea because you have issues with those 2 discs. But the angels don't equate those 2 together or link them together. I mean, I think whenever you're able to successfully address one of your own issues with energy healing and reading, it's very validating, and so it can help you and inspire you to help other people with their issues. So in that way, it's linked, but it's not linked in that if you don't get perfect with that, you can't be a good pro reader healer. They're not linked in that way. And it's not holding back your psychic perception, those 2 discs and the issues with them. To me, it looks like there's energy around you getting a divorce and your psychic ability. And it's like there's all this fear around, even like fear of getting a divorce, fear of being divorced, fear of like that you don't want to get a divorce. And there's a lot of you that doesn't want to get a divorce. There's part of you that does want to get a divorce. So, but there's a lot of that energy. And so sometimes, and I had this happen to me in my first marriage. My husband that I'm married to now is my second marriage. My first marriage I was much, much younger, and it was just, I shouldn't have even like dated the person once, but I married them. And, but I didn't hear my angels back then. So I'm not about that issue for sure. But anyway, when I was in that marriage, I was very afraid of divorce. And I never wanted to look at that kind of thing. I would always be like, oh, angels, please protect my marriage. Please protect my marriage. And I was always, and until I wasn't. And I was like, oh, yeah. So, I mean, everybody's different. It's not like, we're the same or anything, or that marriage is the same as your marriage now, but it looks like the fear, that fear is what reminds me of the fear that I had. Then it's like those parts of you that are afraid of divorce are blocking your vision and your perceptions. And it's a bit of a global block, So it looks like your vision and your intuition would sharpen. Maybe not be as good as you need to be a pro reader, but it would improve if you didn't have so much energy like blocking yourself from looking at the quality of your marriage and what your best options are in life. So but I don't think your spinal discs are yeah. So hope that helps. So somebody says, "Hi, Janet. Thank you so much for this healing." You're welcome. I have been surfing a lot of changes at work the past couple of weeks, but there's a new opportunity with that the angels seem to be happy about. That's it. I was looking to see if there was another part to that. Been surfing a lot of changes at work the past couple of weeks, but there's a new opportunity with that the angels seem to be happy about. I mean, they say yes, that's true. You could work that whole thing of like bringing in what we did during the wrap up. I think it was like the very last thing we did in the wrap up before asking the angels to, help and guide and all that. Was like looking at new positive change energy that you're trying to bring in that's not yet coming in, and unblocking yourself and that positive change energy so that it can come in better. I think there was a person like much earlier that asked a question about that process and if there was anything. Well, I don't know if he directly said, "Is there something blocking me from bringing it in?" But that's what I saw. There was something blocking from bringing it in. So I think that's a good thing to look at with you. Like if you look at yourself and then the positive change energy that hasn't yet come in but would be good to come in right now, healthy and gentle and all that, as colored balls of light. And then if there's something, because you can be too blocked for it, or that there can be blocks around there, but then there could be something in between you and the energy, like sort of keeping it out. And that looks like true in your case. So it sort of looks like a curved, like a snow shovel, like a black snow shovel that's curved, just not the handle part, the shovel, the part that lifts the snow, it looks like your dad's energy. And I think he means well with it, but it's kind of like energy from when you were it looks like it's energy from when your mom crossed over and he's like, "I'll always be there for you. I'm your rock. I'll be there for you no matter what." And which is, a nice sentiment, but it's at this point he's kind of stuck on it and it's in your space. So you could just on energy level thank him, like, "Thank you, that's really kind of you, and I appreciate the sentiment for sure. But I just need to, move this chunk of your energy out of my space." It seems like he'll understand that if you just say, "Well, it's going to help me do even better in my career." Then he'll be like, "Oh, okay, of course, get me out." So that looks like the main thing in the way. But you could look at it that way every now and then too. So unblock those two areas, but see if there's something in between keeping the positive change energy from coming in, and just go ahead and melt it away. All right. Someone says, "Thank you. I'll only try to heal my dad with earth energy soaks and work up to grounding after doing my own grounding." Yeah, I mean, grounding is fine. Just imagine his grounding and gold light. Obviously, first you ask his permission, ask your angel, say, is this okay to do right now? And then telepathically ask him, is it okay? And obviously, you've already healed yourself. And then, just gold light through his grounding. You have your intention that you're using universal gold light, not your own gold. Which, when you're healing yourself, you don't really have to think about it one way or another. So you set them to like, okay, I'm going to generate universal gold light. So it's just like, it's not my personal energy, right? And then, do that. And, you could comb through his whole aura just a little bit, and then mostly in his grounding, and just find a few blocks and, they're healthy and gentle, and just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into them? And then just keep melting and, let them melt. But you could do that. Unblocking his grounding is fine. Earth energy soak, actually, unblocking his grounding is more of an entry level thing than earth energy soak. Because earth energy soak, you're bringing stuff in to his space that is, you could do that on like day 3 and day 4, unblock his grounding and do earth energy soaks. Because the earth energy soaks, they do a lot more than you might realize. It's sort of like plunging a clogged toilet or something with red earth energy and then orange earth energy and then yellow earth energy. It can start quite a bit of a release, so probably just unblocking the grounding and little gold light in the aura, for day 1 and day 2. That would be a better, starter. And then, once you're done with that, for a minute or whatever, just maybe clear STEBs, for yourself. Like imagine yourself, do the same process on yourself. Maybe wash him out of your space just in case, melt cords, and wash him out. And you could even have a big gold magnet and call your energy back from him, in case accidentally any of your energy got in his space, and have your angels clean it out and give it back to yourself. So, heal yourself, call your energy back, wash him out of your space, melt cords. So you're like unblocked. And, you could clear STEBs too, just in case, healing him triggered some stuff in your space. So, yeah. Yeah. But you've been healing yourself for quite a while, so you're ready for that, just to start gradually like that. But of course ask his permission. But it seems like you guys have already said yes, but it's nice to just be polite like that immediately before and just say, would you like me to do this? All right, cool. I have taught him the basics before, so hopefully he may be open to doing it himself soon. Did you teach him the basics consciously? I'm just curious. Anyway, someone says, yeah, I'm trying to get a philosophy degree to then potentially change jobs in the far, far future. I'm doing the Gold Sandstorm. The backdrop helped a lot. Oh, cool. Yeah, the backdrop is cool. Yeah. Yeah, you can maybe take a big screenshot of it, It's a kind of a copyrighted image. I buy them from this place called Motion Elements. But I think even without, like right now, I have a full subscription to them, so I can download everything I want from them. But here we could even give you a pro studying message. How about that? Yeah, so you could take a screen print of that. Oh, that's funny. But yeah. Yeah, technically it's a copyrighted image, so I can't email the image to you. But yeah, cool. I'm glad it helped. It's a copyrighted image which I do purchase the rights to use, just to be clear. Someone says, thank you for the feedback. Didn't know I cored his coach a bunch. Darn it. I created sorry flowers for him and handed them to the angels to give to him respectfully. Very smart. Yeah. Yeah, he wants you to know he did not whack you unprovoked. It was just trying to get you out of his head. Oh, someone says, oh, manifestation wings. Oh, yeah, you typed MV though. You didn't type MW. Yeah, you typed MV. That's what stumped me. Yeah, manifestation wings. And yes, I felt less pressure in the discs. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. I like in your survey, I mean, the dash threw me off, but in your survey, you did mention the specific discs, which I kind of looked up on a diagram because usually I don't remember the little letters on each section of vertebrae. So I had already looked that up in advance. So then I was able to. So it's nice that you were specific about which discs you have an issue with. Just put and though, not the dash, in case I forget that you only have a problem with those two discs. If you mention it in the future. This is, hi Janet, with energy healing, I get some relief clearing and healing parts of me, but there is this persistent energy from, and you mentioned that person's initials, that no matter what doesn't go away. Can you please help me understand? Sure. It makes it hard to focus on other healing aspects. Thank you. And you mentioned your initials. Thank you so much. There also feels like an invasive being. And then you mention your sister's initials, but I can't interpret what the energy is about. Any insight would be amazing. Thank you, Janet. Well, thank you so much for your initials. I so appreciate that. And you put initials of the people that you mentioned even. You're spoiling me. And context for others. I have not healed this person today and probably never. I don't know. But the YouTube idea is not familiar, which is fine. Anybody can ask a question. That's fine. Alrighty. So persistent energy doesn't go away. Energy healing, clearing, healing parts of me. But there's a persistent energy, and you're mentioning a person's name. It doesn't go away. Can you please help me understand? It makes it hard to focus on other healing aspects. Okay. Yeah. Fourth chakra, your physical fourth chakra has some damage, and physical first chakra. And just some cracks and stuff, you could totally heal them. But that's where that person that you mentioned, that you can't seem to get them out of your space, they're able to cord the damaged parts. Is it, whenever there's a chakra damage, it's much easier for people to cord, or invasive beings to cord. So if you heal more your physical repair, your physical fourth and first, because it's like I see that person like sort of wrapped around, like almost like a smoke that encircles you, but it's a person, and it's just that they're in those two chakras. So then they're in those two aura layers. So fourth layer and first layer. fourth, layers go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So fourth layer and first layer, and then fourth chakra and first chakra. First chakra, the damage is only in the back of the physical. First and fourth, there is some damage in the front and back, cracks in both front and back. So, but I think if you can just one at a time, imagine your physical fourth chakra and, bring up red earth energy. Say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of this repair? And just really hone in on the cracks and melt cords and keep honing in on the cracks, lots of gold light, until they're all gone. And then you can imagine the flow, because it's like there's too many energy blocks in the front too of your fourth, like in the front physical fourth. And so just keep unblocking. Once you get the repair done though, that'll help. And then, keep unblocking so you get a nice flow through in your fourth, and same in your first. But yeah, repair fourth and first physical. And then I don't think it'd be that hard after that to have boundaries with that person. You're saying, oh, that makes so much sense. It's a karmic soul connection that I was healing a lot from, but I've not been in contact for like 6 years. So I was so ready to remove it. Yeah, that would get a little old after 6 years of having boundary issues with that person. Yeah. I wonder if you've tried to talk to that person on a spirit level, like telepathically, and just explain. It seems like that person thinks they're protecting you. And so they don't quite understand that you don't need the protection, that you're like very, very powerful and capable, and that, it's not, it kind of blocks you up, if they're in your space. So I'm wondering if you've, there's a video that I have, angel assisted conflict. What do I call it? AA conflict resolution flowers. And they're like message flowers. They're like healing flowers, but you put a message in them. You set them to a nice healing vibration, and then you give them to your angels and say, angels, can you deliver these if it will help the situation? So that way the angels deliver them in a totally respectful way. They'll edit them a little if needed, and they'll only deliver them if it helps. It's nice. So that could help too. Otherwise, the person might keep trying to, protect you and get in your space. So that could be nice. I will see if that video is in the, if you just search Janet Wright AA conflict resolution flowers, AA together for A angel assisted, because you only have so much space in these titles. So so if you search Janet Wright AA conflict resolution flowers. Let's see. Yeah. Comes right up. First result, and it's a 6-minute video. So that's nice. Can't go wrong with that, huh? My hair is short in that video. Let's see. So I will link it in the chat in case that is nice for you to just have the link right there. And other people. So it's a 6-minute video. AA conflict resolution flowers. 6 minutes. Here's the link. Okay. There also feels like an invasive being, and then you mention your sister. I don't quite understand what you mean with that, because I'm assuming that your sister is a physical in-body person in a lifetime. So, yeah. So maybe just be a little more explicit about, like, if there's, the context of, a lot of people have invasive beings, a lot of them, so if it's like, oh, this is a being that causes her to be mean with me or something, or causes her to be invasive with me or whatever. But, whenever there's an invasive being in the way, you could just say, angels, can you recycle that being, and see if they'll do it. But anyway, I hope that helps. Someone says, yes, I thought KV consciously 4 basics of grounding when he had a heart attack and surgery around. Oh, you're saying you taught your dad. Oh, isn't that nice? That's interesting. When he had a heart attack and surgery around 2021, he did some with me, teaching, guiding him, but he does not do it anymore. We'll talk to him again. Yeah. Maybe what he might like especially is the melting cords between him and that relative. He might like that. I think that person suing him is a little too hardcore. I don't think the conflict resolution flowers would do much if he made them for her. But melting cords between him and her, and like indie grounding could be a nice one for him, because she cords into his grounding to try to block it up. So that might motivate him more, because I mean, that's sort of the gift of invasive people, is that they can motivate you to take care of your space, because they're kind of after you and you want to prevent them from doing harm to you, and so washing that person out of, so he can wash her out of his space, he can wash her out of his grounding, he can, do indie grounding, make sure she's not linked up to his grounding, make sure she's not like stuck at the bottom like a hard pancake, and melt her away, and he can say, angels, can you help me have strong healthy boundaries with, this person. I think that keeping it short and sweet like that could be helpful for him, because it's very focused on an issue that is really meaningful to him, but it's also good for everyday life, so melting cords, washing her out, unblocking his grounding, making sure she's out of there, indie grounding. That could be, and you could even, you could make a sound file for him of like a minute of that, or you could just, write it out for him, just a couple bullet points, however his brain works best. Okay, cool. That's neat. Someone says, that, oh yeah, I already mentioned that. Then you say LOL. About him being in your space, that person being in your space for 6 years, or however many years. Someone says, oh wow, I never thought to do that in a spiritual level. This person was just annoying me at this point and is married to a new partner, so I didn't think of them spiritually anymore. Well, everybody's a spirit. Yeah, everybody's a spirit. Yeah, and it is very common for people to be in their ex's space. I mean, a lot of times if I'm clearing something that's really deep, like say I'll be clearing some deep there's a I don't usually talk about it, but like if something is so hard, there can be objects, energy objects, hard energy objects in your space that are like so black and so they were put in there with such malicious intent. I call them curse objects, so there can be a curse object that I find in my space, and every man I've ever dated that has, had benevolent intention towards me is courting that curse object because they're trying to protect me, So, and it could be, people that, I dated in college, like the guy I dated in college that he eventually cheated on me with somebody else, and, we stopped dating, that guy too, it's like just any guy who at some point had a protective instinct towards you, which is a natural, hormonal thing, and, So yeah, it's very common to have cords from people that you've dated. I mean, obviously I clear my space a lot, so these cords are not, they're just in the way of me clearing it like subconscious. So I have to like mindfully just wash them all off and then wash my genetic family off and then, have angels recycle any invasive beings and then the thing just destroys, But yeah, very common. I have this funny video. Well, it's funny to me. It's not really well, it is kind of a funny video from, I want to say it's like 12 years ago. It is, I think it's my all-time most watched video. Oh, now watch, it won't come up. Let's see. But, oh, here we go. Part 5 of 5, strong energy boundaries. Oh, no, that's a different one. Oh, isn't that funny? Why isn't that one coming up? Well, okay. Melt cords, strong boundaries. I want to find it. There's a whole series I did years ago. There we go. Ha ha ha. It has, it's my all-time most watched video, which is hilarious. And the lighting is so bad. That's what's kind of funny to me. I mean, the white walls and the white leather chair that I was sitting on at the time are like yellow in this video, like a bright yellow. It's so funny. And this video is from how many years ago? Well, it doesn't say right now, but it's like 13 years ago. And anyway, so I'll put it in I'll put a link in the chat. But it's a 9-minute video, and it talks about, or 10-minute video. It talks about melting cords, but it gives an example of an ex who's still courting you. But in that example, he was sort of being a narcissist. But a lot of it doesn't have to be that they have a narcissistic intention. But in that video, I don't mention, chakra damage. I don't even think I knew about, did I know about chakra damage back then? I'm not sure. But it's just a really basic video about how you use gold light to melt the cords, which is true. But if you have damaged chakras, those ones I mentioned, then it's really easy for the person to record again, so that's not mentioned in the video. It's a very basic video, but it's just funny because it's like my most watched video of all time. In part because it's so old. But how many? Has 1,000 thumbs up. But anyway, how many views does that have? Oh, you can't see it, right? Oh yeah, 51,000 views. How about that? So funny. Oh, and you're mentioning about your sister again. All right, I'll be quick. I'll read it really quickly, but I do need to wrap up. Let me read the other person's comment because I haven't read anything from her. So thank you so much. Any other thoughts on, that person in your space? I've tried many things over 5 weeks. Anything else I haven't tried and am missing? Yeah, you do mention that in your survey, which I appreciate. You mentioned his name, which is great. Your post-healing surveys. I think sometimes you're doing a catch-all and you're not, it's not always him, basically. It's not that he's not in your space, but he's not the main irritant that you're experiencing at that time, but you just go and you see him. He's the one you see, and you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe he's here again, But, it's sort of a catch-all for like a bunch of invasive beings from work colleagues and, 2 current clients, and some cords from them. And it's like, but you kind of gloss over them and you see him. You're like, ah! Because at this point, he doesn't whack his way in. He just waltzes in with everybody else. But he's not even front of the line, getting in your space, It's invasive beings from colleagues and clients is the biggest aspect. And then cords from current clients is the second biggest aspect. And then he just waltzes in after that. So he's being blamed for an awful lot. But yeah, I think you can just kind of ignore him. I mean, not really, but do the other stuff, the bigger stuff. And then I don't think he'd be able to get in your space at that point, because he's not trying a lot hard now to be in your space. He just he's kind of like your angels say he has the forcefulness of like a butterfly, so it's like a light energy of him trying to get in your space. It's nothing that would really barge into your space if you didn't already have all this stuff going on. Yeah, so I hope that helps. I think it's like your resistance makes you see him, and then you like that's your mind says, oh, that's the whole thing going on, and it's not at all. So I hope that helps. This is, oh, thank you, that's perfect. Does your sister show differently? Oh, she's living. There's just something about our cord or energy. I'm hoping to clarify. Yes, she's alive. Her energy in general confuses me, and I wanted to place her somewhere to understand what I feel. And sorry, lastly, I have one last question. Yeah, no, I can't read all these. It's about a mentor. She's cool, but there feels something funny about the energy / cord. You see so clearly the energy, so that would be amazing to see too. Thanks, Janet. We'll look at your healing sets for sure. I do have a video series on reading people that you could practice with. I think it's called, if you search Janet Wright Clairvoyance, read others, Janet Wright Clairvoyance, read yourself. There's like, I did a set of healings on reading others, and I did a set of healings on read yourself. So there'll be different live streams you can listen to and practice. At that time, I didn't heal live like I do now. I made videos based on the healing that I had done, which was like a whole extra step. I don't think I even considered live streaming at that time. But anyway, but how you talk about the cord, I don't see, cords for me are literal. It's not like this metaphorical, like cutting the cord, or we're, like, it's not like every friend you have, there's a cord that represents your relationship. That's not, like, for me, it's like a very literal thing. Like someone's cording you in 3 chakras, and then you melt it away, and now they're not cording you, but they're still your friend or your husband or whatever, and you see them all the time. You don't have to have people cording you in order to exist and have really strong relationships with people. It's not, I don't see for me, that word cord is a literal line of light. It's not like, this metaphorical thing. So I'll just leave it at that, because I've read a lot for you, and you can work those videos, and maybe that strong boundaries series, that video that I linked, that old video about strong boundaries, it's a set of videos that you could watch if you're interested in. But yeah, so I'm glad you liked it, and you can check out my website if you want. So I'll just wrap up with that. So that's my website, and May and June sets are available on my website now, and anyone is welcome to purchase them for themselves and or family members. Plenty of people, I heal them and a family member, so they buy 2 spots, one for them, one for the family member, if you want, but you don't have to, of course. So May triplet, the theme, and May twin set, the theme for those sets is heal your social interactions, self-love, clear facades, and confidence. Facades are really interesting to clear. Like, you wouldn't think it makes such an impact on your energy, but it really does. It's so weird. Like, facades are like a subconscious kind of thing you hold out to people. Like, really, I'm an honest person, or really, I'm, an ethical person, or really, I'm this, or I'm that. It's like a little billboard that you have in your space, which most of the time is completely subconscious, maybe even from a past life, but they take so much energy to maintain that when you melt them away, it's like it's quite an energy savings. It's really interesting. So anyway, that's part of the May theme. Heal your social interactions, self-love, clear facades, and confidence. And then June theme for the June sets, which is also up on my website right now, is take action, identity, confidence, and decisiveness. Oh, I can't wait. Decisiveness. It's like bam, bam, bam. I'm doing this. This is how I'm doing it. Let's do it now. Boom, boom, boom. Clarity, decisiveness. Ah, that's priceless. Okay, well, cool. I'm excited. I'm pumped. It's gonna be great. All right, you guys, you're amazing. So that was the May and June set themes. And then the July themes, can you believe it? The July sets will go on sale May 15th. So that's next month. That doesn't blow my mind too much, but it does kind of blow my mind. Next month is May. All right, you guys. You're so awesome. Let's see. Let's do butterflies. I'm going to switch back to that other one. I like that one better. There we go. Yay. And then we'll do some. There we go. All right, you guys are amazing. And I hope you have a good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever's next for you. And I hope you are enjoying April so far. It's kind of exciting that it's April. I mean, of course, April's almost over, but still, April's a good month. I like it. All right, so I will see you guys next month. Group healings next month are going to be awesome. I can't wait. All right, you're a rock star. Woohoo! Yay! Good job, good job.